I am Joanne Moore. I am the Executive Director of the Chincoteague Chamber of Commerce. I am a come here, but I married a Tigger, so I think I get extra bonus points for that a little bit. But I first came here in the summer of 1990, visiting a college roommate who had a seasonal place here on the island. And I met my husband that weekend, and the rest is history. He was in the Coast Guard for many years, and so we lived here, but then we transferred away, but came back in 2009 and plan on being here for the rest. Chincoteague is a great place to raise a family, and so when we were looking at where we were going to retire someday and like what we were going to do for like the next chapter of our lives, we knew that Chincoteague is where we wanted to come back to. So the kids were sort of tired of moving, and we understood that and knew that, you know, Willie had a great upbringing here on the island and wanted the kids to have that same experience. So we sort of knew that this is where we wanted to come back to. I love getting a cup of coffee from a local shop, maybe some lunch, spending the day out on the beach. We are also big boaters, so you know, getting some food and going and spending the day out on the boat and tooling all the way around the island is how we really enjoy spending a day on the island. I eat everywhere. We enjoy seafood. We enjoy, you know, all the different varieties of food that the island offers, and I think that's what makes Chincoteague so special. Is that people can come here and have seafood or have Mexican, or you know, have pizza. You know, whatever it is that they're looking for, Chincoteague offers that. You know, one of the natural gems of the island is just the National Wildlife Refuge. You know, you can go over there and just get lost for hours, right? Whether it's hiking and biking on trails, going to see the lighthouse, going out to the beach, watching the birds, taking photography. It just offers so much, and it's not really a hidden gem because we all know that it exists if we're here. But for people who are coming for the first time, that's really you know, a place that we're going to make sure that we send them is over to the refuge to enjoy all the it has to offer. Starting with a sunrise, right? Go over to the beach, enjoy the sunrise, enjoy the beach before you know, everybody else wakes up, and then come and enjoy all that the island has to offer. You know, whether it's a boat cruise or going to the museum, the shops downtown, the parks. You know, we have great outdoor opportunities here. There's just so much to do, and you know, whether you're here for a few hours or a week, you know, you definitely can fill your time. I love the off season. I think, you know, the weather is still nice, and you know, there's still plenty to do. You know, for me, I love fall, I think, the most out of all the seasons. I love the change in colors, the salicornia in the marsh, you know, just the cool weather, but yet it's still nice enough to be outside. You know, and enjoying the festivals that we have. You know, the chamber has, you know, several festivals, but the island does as well, like Death by Chocolate, Search for Shamrocks. So there's plenty of things to do in those off-season times, even though people think the island is quieter. It's still a wonderful time to come visit. You know, if it's somebody's first time coming to the island, I think, you know, in addition to the refuge, you know, going and exploring everything that the island has. Like, there's all these little nooks and crannies, right? So be it a boat cruise or an aqua tour, going to, you know, the Timothy Hill House, or, you know, learning about the history, you know, learning about the culinary side of the island, the aquaculture. There's just, you know, so much to explore. You know, the shops, you know, they're so unique, right? Each shop carries something different, and you know, that everything is like locally made, just brings people to that love of the island. I am the executive director, as I said earlier. My role is to oversee all of the operations of the chamber. We're both a chamber of commerce and a certified visitor center, so we sort of wear two different hats. As a chamber, our mission is a little bit different than a traditional chamber, in that our mission is tourism based, and that we are to bring people and increase tourism to Chincoteague Island. The majority of our members are tourism based, although we do have wonderful members that are sort of secondary and tertiary, off that tourism base. And so we offer networking opportunities, educational opportunities. We promote those businesses, and we're really working hard to have our chamber members partnering more together and networking more together, because we're all here for like the same common goal. But then we also wear the tourism hat. So as a certified visitor center, we welcome tens of thousands of guests to the office every year. Our website, our visitors guide, they're all designed, and our marketing efforts are all designed to bring people here. We are open 6 days a week. We are happy to answer phone calls here in the office, by email, by phone. We work together with the community to, run a community calendar so that people can come to our website and see all that the chamber and the town, is doing. So, it's all to bring tourism here, and to help the island flourish. By definition, there is no typical day at the chamber. So I told Shelley and Mariah when they were first interviewing, like, when you walk in the door, you think you know what you're going to get done today, and you're most likely not going to get that done. And really our work changes by the season. So like right now it's winter, so we don't have the number of guests coming in the door, but this is when we're working on visitor guide distribution and our annual general membership meeting, marketing for the year. We're already planning the Easter Decoy and Art Festival, the Seafood Festival. But then, as the months transition, we start getting more guests coming to the island, and so then that tourism role picks up more. And for the summer seasons, we are full-fledged, welcoming guests to the island and helping them navigate, their visit and making those memories that we want them to have so that they want to come back again. And then once we get into the off-season, we sort of transition back to planning the next visitor's guide and planning the Oyster Festival. And so every season sort of brings new responsibilities and new goals that we have. I think what I enjoy most is that it isn't the same every day. And I love helping people. So whether it's, a business owner who is, just starting out or looking to like grow their business or looking at different ways of promoting their business, to helping people who have never been here before create those memories, it's very rewarding. I think that in those years that I've been here, I think we've worked really hard at making the chamber more prominent in the community, that we are a trusted resource, that we are, a good organization to be involved with, and that we offer value to the community and to the town. We've definitely increased our social media presence. We've increased the value of our website. And we've worked together, with community partners and more economic development and workforce development over the years. So I think all of that is very important to the success of the island. I think it's just that hometown feel, that people, it's family friendly, everyone feels welcome, that, whether you're here for a day or you choose to live here, it's a small community that all works together, and that people really look out for each other. I think that's what makes it so special. So the Chamber hosts 4 major community events throughout the year. The Easter Decoy and Art Festival is a Friday and Saturday of Easter weekend. Seafood Festival is always the first Saturday in May. Oyster Festival is the Saturday of Columbus Day weekend, and then the Christmas Parade is the first Saturday in December. The first 3, they really focus on the history and the heritage of the island, and it brings both locals and guests together. They're fundraisers for the chamber, but yet they do focus on the shoulder seasons, and that they do, speak to the history of the island, through the decoy carving and the seafood industry. The Christmas Parade is our community give back, right? It's just a great fun event to bring people together in the holiday spirit. Fortunately, weather usually cooperates for us, that night, and that's just a great community event for the island. our events are strategically placed in the shoulder seasons to help bring guests to the island during what are our quieter times. So, you know, when you bring 3,000 people to a seafood festival, they're staying in the hotels, but then they're also eating other places after the festival. They're shopping in the shops, they're going to the movie theater, they're going over to the refuge. So they're spending the weekend and you know, and helping with the economy. So again, like it's all bringing those people together for the benefit of the island. I would have to probably say that would be pony swim, right? So, you know, locals say it's like a you know, Christmas in July, right? It's a homecoming. It's people, I mean, you know, when tens of thousands of people descend on a place all in a week, and, you know, it's special. So, especially with the 100th last year, you know, it's just, I think it's what is iconic about Chincoteague. You know, it brings together the history of Misty and the fire company and all of those things that make pony swim special. So I think that's definitely the most iconic event that we have. You know, I think the events that the island has brings, you know, the locals in the community together just because they're targeted and bring them all together. You know, Death by Chocolate, right? And Search for Shamrocks. They're in the middle of winter when it's really not like the prettiest weather on Chincoteague, right? It's usually raw and cold and it can be snowing. But, you know, 700 people, 800 people come to Death by Chocolate each year, you know, and they have fun and they're laughing and they're like happy and like the weather doesn't matter, you know, when they're in their pink tutus and their heart-shaped antennas, you know, it's just fun, family-friendly experiences that the island holds. I think going forward, I'm excited about what tourism is going to look like on Chincoteague. We are in the process of a tourism action plan with the Chamber. We've brought together a lot of community partners to develop what the strengths and weaknesses of the island are, the opportunities and threats, and to see what the next steps are. It's something that we did back in 2018, and through that process, you know, we identified, you know, some key factors and a lot of those have come through to fruition. So I'm excited to see through this process what the vision for the island is going forward and how it will continue to grow. The island offers a lot of great events throughout the year, so I would definitely just encourage folks to go to the Chamber website. Once we know about an event, you know, we definitely put it up there. And I know, like this year, there's going to be new events. I know they're working on a new Earth Day event. And that's something that the island had years ago, but then it sort of you know, went away, and they're trying to bring it back and have that in Robert Reed Park. So there's always something new and something exciting, and whether it's a craft class, you know, or you know, a major event, there's always something happening on the island. If I had to describe Chincoteague in one word, I would say that it's home. I think it's home to people who live here, but people who come here, it's their happy place and they look forward to coming back.